Hello, good evening. I'm Mr. Miller, and welcome to the 46th Annual Randolph High School Jazz Concert. This evening, we'll have an opportunity to hear three separate groups. We have the Middle School Jazz Ensemble. We'll hear Jazz Ensemble 2 from the high school and Jazz Ensemble 1. These students have put in a lot of effort, and we really thank you for coming out to enjoy an evening of swinging music with the students tonight. We are also honored to have as our special guest soloist, Mr. Julius Tolentino. He is a fabulous alto saxophone player, multiple recordings under his name as a leader, has played at all of the biggest jazz venues around the country. His study was one of the legendary figures in our jazz music, Jackie McLean. Not only is he a fabulous musician, but he is also one of the greatest educators, period, that I've ever been honored to be associated with. He came out yesterday and worked with the bands from the high school, and it was eye-opening. Someone who plays as great as he does, and also has such a wonderful way with working with students, and getting them used to playing this wonderful music of jazz. I would like to turn over the microphone and the stage to the Randolph Middle School Jazz Ensemble.
Good evening. I am Mr. Tom Davidson, director of the Randolph Middle School Jazz Ensemble. I believe many of you got a little bit of a preview of this ensemble during our warm-up, and I hope you enjoyed it. There's definitely more to come, which is really cool. That tune, 42nd Street, an awesome Broadway musical with just a very cool arrangement of this headliner tune from that show. It featured two of our alto saxophone players, Caitlin Ford and Jane Doran. There we are. And Jane will be transitioning to cowbell for this next one. And then tenor saxophone player Emma DeLungen. This next tune that we're doing is called Poco Loco. It is not the Poco Loco from that awesome Disney movie Coco, which I really love that tune, but this one is a Latin, very cool introductory Latin chart for jazz ensembles. It's a ton of fun, and I would say that it was probably one of our favorite ones preparing this year. This one features some soloists, alto saxophone. We have, again, Caitlin Ford, and then also Annabelle Lombardi. Right over here. Yeah, it features you guys, right? And then also Mr. Tyler Davis on trumpet. Without further ado, this is Poco Loco. very hot mic here. All right, wasn't that awesome? That's a ton of fun for us to play. We really enjoyed coming in Tuesday mornings. I mean, I like to think so, at least coming in very early on Tuesday mornings. But I just want to give, right now before our final tune, a great big thanks to all of the students on stage for committing to coming in early this year, Tuesday mornings, in addition to coming into their other ensembles. So it's been a lot of fun for me to make such cool music with such a cool group of kids. They put in a ton of work this year, and it has just been so much fun. And I think it really shows the work they put in. So let's just one round of applause for that awesome group of kids. That I have the distinct pleasure of working with each week. Let's see, our final tune, we're delighted to bring out our guest soloist, Mr. Julius Tolentino. It is a familiar tune that I guarantee every single one of you will recognize. It's When the Saints Go Marching In. This one will feature a small group solo. We have, together we have Andrea Gill on alto saxophone, Caitlin Perrin on euphonium, our clarinet players, together Ruby Norton and Kelly Gilligan. And then we are delighted to feature our guest soloist, Mr. Julius Tolentino, in our final tune, When the Saints Go Marching In. So here we go. Oh, one more. I forgot. Sorry about that, Mike people. And also, I literally always forget to thank the folks who work our sound and lighting here. Mr. Tim McElroy and Peter Norell, they do an awesome job for literally all of our concerts, being here and doing the technology and the sound and everything. And I always forget to thank them for the immense amount of work that they do to support our music program here. So one round of applause for those guys back there. They're awesome. But there is a little small New Orleans funeral processional that actually starts. And in New Orleans, it's more traditional in that style of music for a funeral to not be more of a somber occasion, but absolutely a celebration of someone's life. And it is not uncommon to see a band marching down the street playing this tune in this style. And so we have Jonah Davidson on trumpet to start off for the melody, accompanied by Emma Deluncan on tenor sax and Greg Ford on trombone. So I forgot about those folks in the beginning, but you're gonna hear them right away and it's gonna sound great. Here we go, now, When the Saints Go Marching In. All right, so Jazz 2 will be coming on shortly. You will get a chance to hear us again, combined with the high school jazz ensembles for our big closer. It's going to be a ton of fun. Jazz ensemble students, I think we're going to go sit over there, but it can't really go that way. So let's just go around all the way, and we're going to go up into the pod over there. Take all your stuff. Well done. One more round of applause for the awesome Randolph Middle School Jazz Ensemble.
Pierre Chabanel, alto sax. Emmett Bortnick on bass. Thank you, everyone. My name is Mr. Nick Fantazzi, and this is Jazz Ensemble 2. We are very excited to be performing for you tonight. You just heard a really cool rock tune called The Chicken. Next, we're gonna do a great swing chart called Now's the Time. Now's the Time is written by Charlie Parker, probably the most famous jazz saxophonist of all time, one of my favorites. And it's a really catchy tune, we really like it. We're gonna be featuring two of our two trumpet players, Jack Sullivan and Jan Hagedorn, and then we're also gonna bring out our guest artist, Julius Tolentino. So this is Now's the Time. trumpets, Jack Sullivan, trumpets, and Julius Tolentino, saxophone. All right, so our next tune, we're gonna switch it up a little bit. We've got a cool Latin chart called How Insensitive. You're gonna hear from, again, Jan Hagedorn on trumpet, again, Pierce Chabanel on alto sax. This is How Insensitive. Jan Hagedorn on trumpet, and Pierce Chabanel on saxophone. So before we play our last tune, I do need to recognize we had two Jazz 1 students step in tonight because two of our students unfortunately were not able to play. So I gotta make sure we commend them. So we have Gavin Emder on trombone. And on bass, Emmett Bordnick. Thank you guys. Thank you. I just have to say, our Jazz Ensemble 2 students really did a phenomenal job this year. At least half of them really had never been in a jazz ensemble before or played jazz. So we were kind of, starting from the beginning, and they have improved so much since we started rehearsals in November. We had our concert back in February, and then now we've seen so much progress. Rehearsals have been very fun with this group. and hopefully you guys had fun as well. So can we give another hand to our students, our Jazz Ensemble 2 students? All right, so for our last number here, we're gonna bring out Julius Tolentino again. He's gonna take a solo on our last tune. Also included in the solos, I believe, are Jack, are you on the solo? Jack Sullivan on trumpet and Pierce Chabanel on alto sax, along with Julius Tolentino on saxophone. This is our final tune. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. ladies and gentlemen, one more time, give it up for Jazz Ensemble 2. All right, and stay tuned. Jazz Ensemble 1 is coming up. We're going to reset the stage. We'll be right back. Thank you.
So I'm Mr. Miller, and this is Jazz Ensemble 1 that we've been working together all year. We have a number of selections we'd like to play for you. I'm going to be sitting in the section playing some trombone. Mr. Tolentino has graciously joined us in the saxophone section. The first tune we would like to play for you is by one of the greatest trombonists who's ever walked the earth, Curtis Fuller. This tune is entitled A la Mode. Go. Yep. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So that was A La Mode by Curtis Fuller. And on it we heard on trumpet, lead trumpet, the Beast, Joey Dunn. He was also honored by the Mayo Performing Arts Center as one of the outstanding jazz musicians of the month a few months back. That's Joey Dunn. On trombone, we heard from Gavin Emder. Gavin Emder. He's been doing double duty tonight, playing in both bands for us. How about a round of applause? On baritone saxophone, Rachel Guntarson. The beautiful sounds of our guest soloist, Julia Santino. Another male pack outstanding jazz musician of the month, Stephen Alt on our piano. The next selection that we would like to play for you was originally written way, way back. This tune is almost as old as baseball. This is W.C. Handy's St. Louis Blues, as arranged by Duke Ellington, and on it we would like to feature the vocal stylings of Martin Carmona. saxophone, Mason Glidden. The next composition we'd like to play for you was originally composed by the great Miles Davis. The song we would like to perform for you is entitled Boplicity. On the baritone saxophone. Josh Freiheiter on the trumpet. Stephen Alt on the piano. The next tune we'd like to play for you was actually a big hit for the great trumpet player Lee Morgan back in the 1960s. On this song, we'll feature multiple soloists. This is The Sidewinder. Tolentino on the alto saxophone. I'm going to duck down. Kevin Tish on the trumpet. Alex Winans on the trombone. Paul Duran on the alto saxophone, who's also our lead alto saxophone player. I would also like to mention when we went to the State Jazz Festival in early March, if I remember the date, Paul was awarded an outstanding soloist at that regional event. That's Paul Duran on the alto saxophone. We'd like to slow things down a little bit and feature Julius Tolentino on a beautiful composition by John Coltrane. This is Naima. Julius Tolentino on Naima.
Hey. Hey. So, if you're a senior, stand up real quick. Well, on behalf of all of, round of applause, please. Now, this past couple of years, we've come a long way. So, we just wanted to take a moment and appreciate the man who really just makes this possible. Who's that? He's the man sitting in that chair playing his trombone. So, Mr. Miller, this is for you, so sit tight.
Okay, so we're gonna make this quick. So Mr. Miller makes a habit out of calling this section right here the saxophones. Now that might look okay, but Katrina right here, she doesn't play saxophone. And she gets, reasonably annoyed when Mr. Miller calls us the saxophones. So we made a deal that every time Mr. Miller calls the section the saxophones, Katrina right here gets $1. Now, this debt has obviously not been paid off because it is accumulating. He actually just introduced us as the saxophones earlier, so it's $1 more. Now, we have a ball and chain from Mr. Miller to represent his debt, and although it says 24 right now, it is 25. So, Mr. Miller, here's a ball and chain for your debt.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, so a little bit of a gift number two. So, Mr. Miller, if you don't know, likes a certain type of arm winner, I guess you could say. He's a watch guy, and we like to talk about that. We like to have a nice long conversation. So, I think you know where this is going. Mr. Miller, we got you a very, very nice watch here. It's solid gold. So, yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Miller's a big watch guy too, so we went above and beyond just for him.
Very, very. Take a look at that.
Whoa. We're talking about bling. You need to save your eyes, I understand. Oh.
And lastly, Mr. Miller tells us some great stories. So in honor of those, we got him a gift card to McDonald's and Taco Bell, as many of his stories relate around those.
I don't mean to be maudlin. One of the joys of teaching, and I'm sure Mr. Tolentino knows exactly what I'm going to talk about, is some of these kids that I see up here, I've known since they were 10 years old. And now I get to work with them when they're in high school, 15, 16, 17 years old. And of course, I'm astounded by their musical progress and growth, and that's really quite rewarding. But ultimately, their growth as young men and women, developing wonderful personalities, caring, doing things such as this, giving a solid effort. It really means the world to me to have spent the past few years with everyone here, and every Wednesday night for this past school year. It really has been my pleasure, and I'm honored to share the stage with you as a director and as a fellow musician. And I thank you so much for these wonderful gifts. And I thank you for giving me the gift of being able to work with musicians who are interested in playing this music. Thank you so much. I love you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm dying to put this watch on, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It's going on. The last song we'd like to play for you was written for an old territory band in the late 1930s, early 1940s named Harlan Leonard and his Rockets. He had a composer in his band named Tad Dameron, and they wrote the selection entitled Dameron Stomp. Before we play this though, there are some, we've heard from just about everybody on the stage. I would like to introduce who will be playing clarinet solo this evening, Katrina Lanise. Our guitarist, Alex Gavinas. We have another man here who came in and jumped in and did double duty. I have not mentioned his name tonight, but I want you to commit this name to memory because he's been a fabulous bass player for this group for the past 2 years. This is Emmett Bortnick on bass. And the gentleman who keeps it all together for us, who keeps us swinging, who keeps us honest, our fabulous drummer, Mr. Ben Herring. The final selection that we would like to play. Oh, thank you so much for spending a Wednesday evening with us here. We really appreciate it. The students appreciate it, and thank you. This is Dameron Stomp. One second. You have your sunglasses. They're going to need a few minutes because all the dots in their eyes. So we'll. All right. I'm putting it on too. My glasses back on. I think it's too fast. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Randolph High School and Middle School jazz musicians, and Mr. Julius Tolentino. Thank you so much for coming out this evening. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Thank you.